The Coyote Twin, Vermilion's downtown theater. Providing entertainment Thursdays through Sundays.
Creating healthy habits and making good choices.
Tonight, we talk with experts about how to be safe while having fun. Coyote News starts right now.
Live from the Al Newharth Media Center, this is Coyote News.
Welcome to Coyote News. I'm Marissa Brunkhorst.
And I'm Sydney Colin. We'll get to that story in a moment, but first, a driver heading eastbound in the westbound lanes of Highway 50 caused a head-on crash near Gayville, a town just west of Vermilion. Authorities say a 45-year-old man was killed in the Saturday evening collision. The driver of a 2021 Chevy Tahoe was flown to a Sioux Falls hospital, while the driver of a 2002 Ford van was killed. The investigation is ongoing. Freedom of speech laws are continually being challenged, and that includes the work of artists. The First Amendment isn't always a protection, as many artists have found. The location of where the art is placed plays a big role in determining whether or not restriction will be applied. Art gallery director Amy Phil says that artists have more freedom in gallery than in public places.
Our jobs as artists are to, maybe make commentaries on social issues, personal issues, and sometimes topics that are maybe uncomfortable. I think when we get into where a government is controlling what can and can't be seen, I think that's where we're coming into butting up against freedom of speech.
Phil says many art forms deal with freedom of speech, and artists need to keep First Amendment applications in mind.
The House State Affairs Committee advanced a bill that would expand and protect Native American voting rights. Senate Bill 119 would allow Native American voters to register to vote using their tribal identification cards. The Native American Rights Fund says approximately 34% of known eligible Native population isn't registered to vote. The bill would make it easier to do so. South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem is sending troops to the country's southern border, calling it a war zone. 60 South Dakota soldiers will be deployed to Texas over a 3-month period this spring. The move comes as many other Republican governors are backing Texas Governor Greg Abbott's decision to build additional razor wire barriers across the U.S.-Mexico border.
For many people, a stereotypical college life includes overindulging in alcohol, but that isn't always the case. Experts say drinking too much can lead to trouble.
Coyote News' Alexis Johnson spoke with UPD about the importance of drinking safety.
Whether it's at a social gathering or a quiet night at home, being mindful of how we drink can prevent potential harm to others and ourselves. Chief of Police Brian Jackson says creating healthy habits and a plan is the right way to start.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing really for students to be safe while drinking on campus is to really just have a plan. As we look at going downtown or going to friends' houses, restaurants and things like that, truly just having that plan. So whether it's going out with friends, being responsible and having a designated driver, being 21 are all great places to start.
Jackson also says to look out for each other when going out. He says being responsible for others is just as important as being responsible for yourself.
So if we're going out with friends, let's be responsible for each other as well. So whoever I'm going out with, let's ensure that those same people make it back home, whether that's to the dorms or our off-campus residents.
Following these guidelines can ensure that going out is enjoyable, but also safe for everyone involved. For Coyote News, I'm Alexis Johnson.
Jackson says there are many ways to enjoy alcohol responsibly,
including pacing yourself and having a designated driver.
After the break, a campus sorority is giving back to the community. You're watching Coyote News.
This is Coyote News.
The Vermilion School District is getting a makeover. The new elementary school is nearly complete. While the existing elementary schools will no longer be serving their original purpose, the district superintendent says they found a way for those spaces to continue benefiting the community.
Both Austin and Jolly have new repurposes. They're going to be, Austin Elementary will be given to the Boys and Girls Club. It's a recent partnership in the last couple of years we've been developing with the Greater Northern Plains chapter of Boys and Girls Club. And so the school board entered into agreement to give them Austin Elementary as their new starter home. So it worked out really well.
The new building's expected to be completed soon, and the district will hold tours of the new building when it's open.
The Pi Beta Phi sorority is participating in an event to help elementary students read. Chapter members go to Austin Elementary School every Tuesday afternoon. Yesterday, 17 Pi Phi women went into a class of 17 students, giving each student a one-on-one learning experience. The kids share their favorite story and characters while focusing on reading and building reading skills. Pi Phi member Olivia Berry leads the group in the classroom and tracks the students' progress.
So every activity we do, there's like a sheet of paper that goes with it that usually like practices sentence structure. So then we can keep those sheets like until the end of the program.
By keeping the students' practice sheets, the group can see how much progress is made. Pi Phi aims to improve the program by making it year-round instead of just in the spring.
In celebration of Black History Month, the Office for Multicultural Affairs and the Union of African American Students are hosting a Black History Month Trivia Bowl. Students can play in teams of 3, and winning groups will receive Coyote Cash. The event takes place tonight at 7 at the Muck Media Wall. A teacher career fair is planned for Sioux Falls next week. The Academic and Career Planning Center is holding the event to connect students and alumni with school districts across the country. The career fair takes place in the Romcoda Hotel and Event Center Tuesday morning beginning at 10.
At-risk college students have a chance for additional academic support. Coyote News' Jody Ann Tyson is live in the Muck to learn more about peer mentoring program options. Jody Ann?
Thanks, Marissa. I'm here with Mackenzie Van Groothiest, a peer mentor. Mackenzie, now USD students might be aware that there are peer mentors on campus, but what exactly are the roles and responsibilities of a peer mentor?
So for us, we kind of look at what they do for their courses, help them out with their courses and what they have to do, and then just help like look over their writing and make sure they're getting their stuff done, basically.
And some students might be contemplating whether or not they need a peer mentor. When would you suggest is the best time for students to get a peer mentor?
If they're just struggling with their classes, that would be like the first thing. If they can't get the help that they need, just come have a peer mentor and we can help them guide them through their courses and classes.
And what's the most unusual advice that you've ever given to a mentee?
I'd say, I don't know.
Or what's the best advice that you think you've ever given to a mentee?
Just to never be afraid to ask questions if they're confused on something, basically.
Okay. And what would you say to any prospective mentors?
Don't be afraid to help out.
Thanks so much, Mackenzie. Peer mentors are here for your success. For Coyote News, I'm Jody Ann Tyson.
Thanks, Jody Ann. At-risk students are encouraged to contact their advisor or the ACPC to connect with a mentor. 3 sets of candidates are vying against each other in this semester's SGA elections. To find out what issues matter most to the candidate, the Cross Media Council is hosting a live SGA debate next week. The running teams include Griffin Peterson and Maddie Fleckenstein, Ethan Gladue and Jillian Schulte, and Libby Brust and Waverly Patterson. The debate takes place next Thursday night at 7. It'll be streamed on both KYOT TV, Midco Channel 21, and YouTube. If you have a question for the candidates, send it to the KYOT News email address. Next on Coyote Sports, women's basketball picks up their 7th conference win.
And the men have a narrow loss on the road.
This is Coyote News.
Women's basketball ranks 4th in the Summit League. This is Coyote Sports. I'm Spencer Bewley.
And I'm Myra Ingram. The women's basketball team heads to Missouri tomorrow to take on Kansas City. Last week they played St. Thomas. 4 Coyotes scored in double figures. Kendall Holmes led in scoring for the second straight game with 15 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists. Following Holmes was Grace Larkins with 12 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds, and 2 steals. Carly Duffney recorded her 4th straight double-figure game with 11 points and 4 rebounds. Tori DePerry tallied 10 points. After a tight first half, South Dakota scored 10 straight points midway into the third quarter to take the lead. St. Thomas didn't get closer than 8 for the remainder of the game. The Coyotes won 75-61. The women have just 4 more games until the Summit League tournament.
The men's basketball team also faced St. Thomas last week, but on their home court. Boston Holt was the frontrunner for the Coyotes, scoring 23 points. This marked his 3rd straight 20-plus scoring game. 4 of the 5 USD starters also ended the game in double-figure scoring. South Dakota shot 78% from 3 and 65% from the field. Going into halftime, the Coyotes had a 10-point lead, but in the second half, St. Thomas went on a 14-4 run to tie the game. It was back and forth all the way to the final buzzer, but St. Thomas came out with the win. The Coyotes dropped this one 83-80. The men go against Kansas City tomorrow night at 7 in the SCSC. Moving from collegiate to high school, Vermilion girls basketball is currently ranked 1st in the Region 4A tournament. Yesterday they played Parker, winning 68-34. Brooke Jensen went over 1,000 points for her career. The team is 17-4 on the season and faces Lennox tomorrow night.
The track and field teams will compete at the Summit League Championships this weekend. They last competed at the Nebraska Tune-Up in Lincoln. Pole vaulter Marlene Mula cleared 14 feet, 7 1/4 inches, moving up to 3rd in this NCAA. She had been sitting at a 4-way tie for 16th nationally before the meet. Her new height secures her a spot in the NCAA Indoor Championships in March. Sammy Neal won the women's long jump with 19 feet, 4 inches. She ranks 4th in the program history in the events for next week's Summit meet. Joe Lynch tied his personal best of 6 feet, 11 inches in the men's high jump. He placed 2nd and leads in the Summit. The Summit League Championships start at 9:30 Friday morning.
The women's tennis team faces Nebraska tomorrow. In their latest match against Idaho, USD fell in all of the doubles matches. Bea Havlikova won the number 1 singles in 3 sets. The Coyotes also won the number 3 and 6 singles matches, but it wasn't enough. USD falls to Idaho 4-3.
Softball will compete at the Lion Invitational in Texas on Friday. At the Panther Invitational, USD beat Butler 7-1 and Georgia State 4-0. In Game 3 against Butler, the Coyotes swept the Bulldogs 5-0. Game 4 saw a close matchup between USD and Belmont, but South Dakota would win 5-2. The Coyotes fell to the Bruins in the 5th game 0-1. This week, the team will compete first against Tarleton State on Friday. USD has a long history of high participation in intramural sports. Coyote News' Alex Kleinschmidt is live in the muck with an intramural athlete to learn more. Alex?
Thank you, Myra. I'm here with an athlete who's participated in football, hockey, and esports, Zach Behrens. So what made you want to get involved with intramurals?
Yeah, so there's posters all over the wellness center and around campus, and that just got me the idea of that's out there, so that's what got me into it.
So how did you accumulate your team?
Just friends I've met through class and my dorm, friends I've had before, just a close network. It doesn't require that many people.
And how has having an outlet to maybe relieve some stress through sports impacted you?
It gave me something to look forward to, and it gave me something to talk about all week until the next game. So I really appreciated that, and I could network through the intramural.
Thank you so much. Live in the muck for Coyote Sports, I'm Alex Kleinschmidt.
Thanks, Alex. Registration is currently open for spring basketball, softball, tennis, and volleyball.
The men's golf team finished tied for 6th at the World Golf Village Collegiate. 3 Coyotes finished in the top 20. Max Schmidtke led with a 3-round score of 215. He finished 1 under par and tied for 11th place. Nick Lamott and Logan Hammock finished tied for 16th place with a 1 over par score of 217. The team competes next at the Loyola Intercollegiate in Arizona. Women's golf is just kicking off their spring season. Last month, Emma Henningsen was voted as one of 8 Summit League golfers to watch for the spring. She's one of 3 Coyote golfers who had a stroke average of 75 in fall events. The team is heading to the Rio Verde Invite this weekend to take on Western Michigan University. That's it for Coyote Sports.
When we come back, we ask students what the easiest major is. Stay with us.
What does the group think? We think a strength is their brand recognition.
This is Zoe, and you're listening to Afternoon Rap on KAOR 91.1 FM. This is my next selection.
Hey Sally, come check this out. I like it. What if you try this?
We're out.
What's up is down, what's left is right.
What did you think of your performance today?
I believe I did well. I achieved what I needed to do for the team. The team actually functioned the way we needed to. We did our 111th and we were able to make plays.
The Charcoal Sports Show, the hottest names and the hottest takes.
Tune in every Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. where Charlie Preen and Cole Larsch highlight prep sports, college sports, Coyote athletics, and professional sports. We would love to hear your questions for us too. The phone lines are always open.
Tune in to the Charcoal Sports Show each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. to hear the hottest takes on KAOR Vermilion.
This is Coyote News.
Employees at a Pennsylvania Goodwill store found a rare 14-karat gold Lego piece, and now it's up for auction. The piece, which is called the Bionicle Golden Kanohi How Mask, was found by warehouse workers. It's believed to be one of only 30 in the world. The auction's already surpassed $4,000. Students choose a major for a variety of reasons, including which program will get them through college the quickest and how much money they'll make in their chosen field.
But sometimes the choice comes down to whether or not they can pass their classes. In this week's Out and About, we asked students what they think is the easiest major.
Here's what they had to say.
Communications. Communications. Probably business. I would say communications.
Have to say business.
Elementary ed.
Business. Oh, that is hard. Probably, maybe fine arts. I'm gonna say elementary ed.
Elementary ed.
Elementary education.
Architecture. I don't know.
Probably communications.
Psych.
I'd say business.
I'd say elementary education.
It's probably communications.
Communications.
Advertising.
Business.
I'm gonna say business admin.
Physical education.
I'm taking psych right now and it's not too bad.
I think business.
Elementary ed.
Probably business.
Art, maybe something in like the fine arts department.
For me, business.
Business for sure, or an art major, but that's objective, I guess. Yeah.
I don't know if I like all this business slander. I mean, I'm not a business major myself, but like I've seen, the accounting homework. I've known some business majors, and that stuff's hard, man. I don't know if I got that in me.
If you walk through the fine arts building, I mean, those students put in hours, and I could never do that.
I'm a dance minor, and so those fine arts people that I know, they work hard constantly. 20%.
Yeah.
I think every major has its own unique challenges.
Yes. And that's all for Coyote News.
Pick up the Valance issue for a look at students marching for missing Indigenous people.
Listen to 91.1 for news updates throughout the week and for your coverage of tomorrow night's men's basketball game against Kansas City.
And don't forget to follow our social media pages for daily updates and the weekly poll. Have a great night.